Cool. Well, we'll dive right in. Peyton, Maddie is such a cool, interesting, like layered character. How did you develop this character? Like, what did you bring to this role?
I just brought my personal experience with awkwardness and being a teenager and being in relationships and um as like just my knowledge, and then
Mhm.
a lot of the writing just did so much of the work for me. And yeah.
Yeah. There's this interesting aspect to the character, and I think probably like all of your characters have probably experienced this, where there's like this macabre fantasy of like getting to see your own funeral, right? And we see that play out. What was that element of it like?
Yeah, that's so true. That is a fantasy. I've seen people, a lot of people, I have an obsession with people who are also obsessed with watching their funeral actually before this show. And like I saw a woman on Twitter who like laid in a casket and people
What?
came and whispered things to her just because she wanted to experience it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
like
It was me.
it was me. I'm
and it
moving
is odd. I mean, it brings up a lot of those thoughts, even when we're in group and then they walk in and the
that
vigil's
scene.
happening
Yeah.
and
Right.
my mom's up there and she goes up to get to speak and she has had a little bit to drink and she can't really come up and it's really embarrassing. And I just
Mhm.
felt
That
so
was hard.
horrible for Maddie in that situation. I mean, you just want to, you see everyone's kind of judging this person you love so much, and you don't want to watch the people you love crumble. It's like unnatural to die before your parent. And
Mhm.
it brought up just so many thoughts, but
Right. Yeah. It's such a complicated moment, right? Like there's so much going on in that moment. I love that moment. Yeah, totally. Sarah, let's talk about Rhonda a little because she's such a tough nut to crack, right? She's got this facade up, this like mile thick facade. You kind of want to like hug her and like give her a stern talking to at the same time.
Yeah,
You
Oh, I'll
know,
take those. Okay.
maybe
yeah.
that's the mom in me speaking. I don't know.
No, she
But
needs that.
what was that?
I said she needs that.
She needs it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like no one wants to hug her, but like she needs it.
Mm.
That's what she needs, right? What can we expect from her as the season goes on?
Hmm.
Without
Well,
I mean spoilers,
I'm gonna
obviously.
spoil the entire show. So plug your ears. No, I think what was really exciting for me to play a character like this is that I got to play someone that I think is cool and I'm scared of, and that I'm not
Mhm.
like in many ways.
Mhm.
But as the series progresses and we get more involved with trying to figure out what's happened with Maddie, and Rhonda does take a turn, and I don't want to say too much, but you start to see these like the underbelly sort of, and
Yeah.
has to play along or has to open up a little and
Mhm.
has to try to trust, which is her whole thing, is
Yeah.
that she does not trust people. So
Yeah.
it was cool to do it, get to play a character and embody someone who is, like you said, such a rough and hard facade and such a
Right.
wall up. And then you see even in episode 3 of Maddie actually being like, tell me, open up. And Rhonda does a little. And to see someone who's not just on the surface talking about themselves or open, because I think I'm very open, and someone who's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then when you do, it means so much more
Yeah.
when someone
Right.
opens up. You're like, you're sharing with me.
Right.
Mhm. And Nick, and let's talk about Charlie for a second, because there's this one moment, I won't spoil it, but it's such a sweet, like poignant look into his backstory. What can we expect from him this season?
Um, that will be explored a little bit more in depth. That's kind of his storyline of him coming to terms. I mean, in with all of the characters, the ghost characters, it's really explored that we all actually do have things that we need to work on, and we have kind of ignored them until Maddie comes in and shows us that you do have to like look back to go forward. And yeah, so that'll be, yeah, you'll get to see a little bit more of that. But
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see more of all of these characters because there's so much under the surface, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, just before we wrap up, any interesting or favorite or even challenging moments when you were bringing this kind of ghost support group to life, so to speak?
Ooh. I think a challenging moment was like shutting up.
Yeah.
We laugh a lot.
We would laugh too much
Too
during
much.
the ghost.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
another challenging aspect of it is when we were in group, then the cameras would we would sometimes do 3 cameras in the
Yeah.
middle of group, and a camera
Oh,
would be
yeah.
shooting across everyone, and you'd be looking at an X who is a different
Yeah,
character.
we couldn't really
And so
look at each other.
having to just tune into people's voices and sort of project them onto this X
And like imagine
added a
what they were
challenge.
doing with their face.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
what she looked like before,
Yeah.
but now she's an X.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited for the show, and I can't wait to see how the season progresses.
Thank
you.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.